Hello everybody. Okay, we're back to plan. So exciting. So I'm going to be using Planner Kate kit MK723. We'll just kind of walk through everything that I have. So I have the sidebar stuff. Little florals and the bikes are so cute. Oh, I love it. Okay, here is the vertical checklists. I always order extra labels. And this is the functional page. Yep, I always want to call it the functional sampler because it looks like a sampler to me, but it's not. I picked this because this is the Mother's Day kit and next week is Mother's Day. Super cute. And then I always order both sheets of the boxes because number one, I like them. And sometimes I like the variety of using the smaller boxes versus the bigger boxes. And then I also like that this page gets these type of boxes that match and coordinate. Also these I use sometimes. So I just always get the whole thing. I would rather have more than I need than like be trying to figure out how I can make something that I really need while I'm planning. And this thing is about to bust off the coil. That is insane. I also, made a decision about my 2026 planner. So here's what we're going to do. Oh, this is last week, by the way. I'm going to do a giveaway with the planner that I ordered. It's a 12-month vertical planner with the budget pages in the back. And because actually, so a lot of you, not a lot, but a handful of you have been saying, hey, I want to try an EC. Here's, I am still in a happy planner. I would love to try it though and like see how it goes. And I think that's totally rad. And so I have this one. And then because so many of you told me that I could get a bigger coil. I had no idea that the 18-month planner had a bigger coil. I'm new to this. I'm not a pro here. The 18-month has a bigger coil, so that'll work a lot better for me. So I did go ahead and order the 18-month already, and I'm gonna do a giveaway with the 12-month planner. It's got the hexagon cover on it. It's got a platinum coil. And it's a vertical layout with, like I said, the budget pages added into the back. So I will give that away to somebody who's interested. I'll post more details for that soon. I'm not quite there yet. Also, I have taken some pictures of some of the stickers from the videos, so I will be posting those, if not have them posted already, and I will be sharing the link over in the community tab. So if you haven't gone back to check the videos in the description, because you're not going to get like a notification when that goes live, it'll be for you over in the community tab. So you'll see it there. I'll try to respond to comments that, we're waiting for the link and that kind of thing and let you know. But if I can't, that's where you can find it. That's so sweet of you guys also to like want to take these off my hands and to help me out in that way. That's really kind. Okay, so first things first. Okay, so I'm really excited that this washi is different than this one. Oh goodness, I'm throwing stuff. It's different than that one. And I think I like this like bright color one better than this even, so that will make things easy for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this as my bottom washi. It's not actually even bottom washi. I'm just going to put a little bit over here, and then this section becomes my meal planning section. My gosh, I feel like I have a piece of hair on me. Do you ever feel like you have like a piece of hair on you and you can't figure out where it is? My goodness, absolute craziness. And it is early in the morning on Saturday. I know this video doesn't go live until Sunday. I'm a little bit behind as far as like getting my videos planned. And I tried so hard to get up early, and my crazy kids are already up. They're like, oh, mom has something to do. And like of course, like during the week, I couldn't get them out of school or out of bed to go to school. And now they want to be up at like 7. Like, guys, you're killing me. Killing me. Anyway, that is just my little gripe. I am also a person, I like to get up early before everybody else so that I can have like a few minutes of quiet time before I have to like be on. And so it's not like it throws my whole day off, and it's not like I'm not happy to see my kids, but like it's not exactly how I envision my morning. And so I have trouble like changing up what happens next. So we're gonna just see if I can get this video filmed and how many times they come down here. One of my kids is 17, so she should be like fine, but who even knows? Also this week, so this week is not only Mother's Day, but it is also prom week. So my daughter has prom on the 10th, so that's exciting. And this is her first prom. This is because she's a junior this year and her school has junior senior prom. And I didn't realize like how long it would take for her dress to get here. And so I ordered it a bit on the later side. So it'll actually be here sometime between like Monday and Thursday. So it's a little bit cutting it close, but it has been shipped. It should be totally fine. If not, like if for whatever reason there was any kind of like hang up, I have all of my prom dresses left over like hanging in a closet. And I mean, it wasn't that long ago that I was in prom, and the dresses that I have, I would say are like, they don't necessarily like reflect the generation from when I went to prom. Most of them are like just kind of classic designs. So she could technically wear one of those if she needed to, because I had to have that backup plan in my mind when I ordered it, because just in case, you never know. Oh my gosh, I put that on upside down. That's gonna kill me. I can't do that. I didn't even realize that. Some of these pieces of washi, like it doesn't really matter because the pattern can go either way, but this one does because the bikes have to go a certain way. I swear, oh my gosh, I am like shedding hair right now. I have like super thick, pretty long hair, and I feel like it's just like all coming out right now. I don't know if it's like a spring and summer weather coming or what exactly, but I feel like I am shedding hair, so it's like everywhere. Also, I have it down right now, so it's not like tied back, so it probably is coming out a bit more than it normally does, but I feel like I can see it around on my planner, and I feel like I can feel it on my hands. It's just a little crazy. Okay, so there's that. That looks a lot better. Okay, now that's not going to drive me crazy. All right, then we're going to get the top washi on. What do you guys have going on this week? Let me know in the comments. I need to, one of my goals this week is to batch film a bunch of videos, because I am getting myself back into, when I was filming before, I was on a really bad sleep schedule. I was staying up till like midnight, like before I took a really long break. That's part of why I took a really long break. I was up till like midnight filming and editing, and I just cannot do that anymore. I'm like a 9:30 p.m. bedtime girl now. And so, yeah, I am hoping I can batch film. My videos right now are like kind of on the longer side. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm hoping that I can do that. Okay, now we're going to get these in, our headers, or our date covers. And yeah, again, were those videos just not crazy with all the stickers? I can't believe I have stickers from 2016. That's the year I first started planning, and I cannot believe I still have those. That is wild to me. And like the Happy Planner girls, oh my gosh, I think that was my favorite find in going through my drawers, is looking at all the Happy Planner girls and like totally just being nostalgic about that. Like that was a time. That was a fun time. See, this Wednesday sticker fits so much better over this Wednesday. I don't know what that was last week. That was weird. Maybe it was me. I think it might have been last week. Oh yeah, it was like a 30. So it was it was like a double number in all the letters. I think that is why. So Planner Kate, a little bit of feedback. If you can make them slightly longer, they'll fit perfectly over. Because I think what happened is these are measured for Wednesdays that only have one number, or not quite as big of a number, like the 30. So I would just double check that. It's totally fine. It's not that huge of a deal, but that's just a little bit of feedback. I don't make stickers. I don't know what all is involved in like sizing things either, and like what goes into that. So it might not even be possible. Who even knows? It has been a week, you guys. We have a lot going on as a family right now. Stuff I'm not going to discuss really, because I want to make sure that my kiddos' privacy are both protected. But man, just a lot going on as we wrap up the year. I saw somebody describe May as like May-tember or something, like because it has so much stuff. It's like very similar to December in that way. And I fully get that, even though like our school year doesn't really wind down fully until June. Like my kids' last day of school is not till mid-June, and they don't start back to school until the first week in September. That's just the way our district does stuff. That's how they've always done it. With that, then they just have a lot more days left. The school year is long, and it does kind of like draw out some of those like events that might be happening. So yeah, like field day will be a little bit later, and those end of the year like carnival type things. And for my high school student, like her wrapping up her grades, which she really needs to get on top of just to kind of wrap up last minute things, definitely needs to do that. And it's crazy to think, so my kiddo is a high school junior, my oldest. It's crazy to think that next year she only has just like a very few classes to take, and she like doesn't have to take a ton if she doesn't want to. She could take early release, she could take late arrival, and only be there like a few hours in the day because she really doesn't need like a ton of classes. So that is wild to me. I'm not sure what she's going to end up doing, but we'll find out. Okay, let's put my dog park stickers down, and then we will move on to the sidebar. Super cute. Every time I have something recurring, I think I need to order more of, I don't know if Planner Kate makes these specifically by themselves, but if she does, I need to just order more of these in like every color to have them on hand, because I have a feeling that there are going to be recurring things this summer that I'm going to need to keep track of that are going to be more than just the dog park. And I don't want to have to order 2 of the sampler sheets, but these like dotted edged small boxes, they're like perfection to go at the bottom here and like keep track of everything. Yeah, they are my favorite. And what else do we have? So we have prom next week. We have Mother's Day. I still don't have plans for what I'm doing for my mom. Last year we did this thing where we like got in the car and we drove down south of here, and there were like some antique shops that she wanted to go to and like some floral shops, and we took my aunt and I think did we take my cousin? Maybe not. Maybe we only took my aunt. I can't remember. Anyway, we all went down in the car. I think we did take my cousin, and we all went down, and it was super fun and just like chit-chatted, and it was nice to have just that time as ladies and just like, I don't know, it was just a good time. I like stuff like that. So, oh, and then of course we have Cinco de Mayo on Monday. Oh my gosh, and then all the crap with I need to file some paperwork about my student loan stuff. I'm not even gonna get started on that because I'm just not going to. It's too frustrating, and I would like this to be like a happy place. So there's a lot of things going on these days. I'll just say that. I'm thinking about whether or not I want to discuss what happened with my previous employer. I'm not going to say their name in any part of this video, so I'm not going to like disparage anyone or anything for the record, but I do feel like I kind of have the right to share and like for other people to like look out for things like this. It wasn't a scam, but it was a very toxic environment for me. Basically the entire holiday season, like trying to start a new job at the same time. It was the weirdest thing I've ever gone through in my entire life. Okay, so basically I had started the job. So I got laid off from my previous job in August of 2024. And I started this new job in September of, my gosh, that feels so long ago, of 2024. I was really excited because it did like merge both of my passions. So it took both areas of my interest. So like I am a former educator. I'm actually still technically an educator. I'm licensed. I'm just not like practicing. I'm not teaching right now. I probably won't ever be, but I probably will keep my license current. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But it really like merged both of those interests. And so I was like super stoked about it. And during the interview process, everyone seemed super nice. There was one person who ended up being my supervisor who I could never really quite get a read on. And I thought maybe that was going to be a red flag, or like that was going to be something I was going to have an issue with. But I just tried to, I tried to ignore it, and I tried to be like, you're crazy, girl. Like, what are you doing? You know, like, and just kind of go with the flow and, you know, be positive about the whole thing. And when I first started, everything seemed super cool. Like, everyone was super nice, including this person that I couldn't get a read on really. Everyone just seemed very welcoming, very kind, all of that stuff. And then I started working. You know, it was a very like slow start. They set out like a 90-day, like first 90 days plan for me. And I started like basically going through and checking off boxes. I'm a planner girl. I like to check off tasks. During this time, I was getting very little in terms of like feedback from this person. Like, I was asking, you know, what do you think about this? And, you know, wanting to make sure we were both on the same page and trying to collaborate in that way, because that is how I'm used to working. It's not like I was looking for permission, but I wanted to make sure that the way I was thinking about things were the way that they were thinking about things. And I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page. And so after the first 45 days, basically, I asked for some feedback. And that was during like a one-on-one meeting. Like, most places we had a weekly one-on-one meeting to have, you know, like check in and whatever. And during that meeting, this person like kind of stiffened. Like, I could see they had like adjusted their body. It was just like a weird reaction to me, like asking for feedback. Basically, I said, hey, you know, I've been here for 45 days. You know, we've been working together. I just want to make sure, like, is there any feedback that you have for me? And they seemed like I had like put them on the spot or something. It was very weird. And he was like, well, here's some feedback, but then let me get you like something more formal, basically. And I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. In my mind, I, of course, was like kind and professional in the meeting, but in my head, I was like, that is a weird response to somebody asking for feedback, but okay. And from that point forward, like, I don't think I could do anything right. Like, I think at that point, a decision was made, and like, I became not the employee that they wanted. Within the first, so I only worked there like a total of 6 months, but within the first 90 days of me working there, they ended up putting me on a plan of improvement. And if you've ever worked in a corporate environment, plan of improvement, historically, in my opinion, this is not like a legal definition or anything, but has been basically a way to get rid of people. And that is exactly how I felt. When we first had the meeting about the plan, they told me some story about how somebody who worked there had been on one of these plans and is now doing great and is like a star employee and is, it was just like, okay, they told me this, okay, so they dropped this in my lap the week before my supervisor was leaving for a week to go on vacation. Like, no thought, no care about like me being able to fix things, really. And then they wanted to end this plan, what was it? It was like the end of February. And I was like, you know, like, my supervisor is going to be out of the office for this entire week and like won't be available for me to have one-on-ones with or for me to check in with. And I just think that's incredibly unfair. Like, I don't think the way that we have this set up is gonna work for me. And I told them that. I was like, this is not fair. I don't think the way that we're doing this is fair. I don't think this is fair to me. It feels like you guys already have your mind made up. And so then they extended it, I think, until, so my last day ended up being February 17th. So I think they actually originally had it set for the end of January, and then they extended it a month out till the end of February. So there was that, but the entire time, like, okay, so I go through the plan. I'm like trying to do all the things that they say, and in the plan, some of the like behaviors or the things that I needed to work on were things that were just incredibly vague. They weren't like specific. They weren't helpful. It just, yeah, it was like mind-blowing the way that they had this plan set up. I was trying to work through these things, but really didn't know how to do it, essentially. Like, didn't really know what exactly more that they wanted from me. Didn't know like how to change the things that they were doing because I wasn't getting that specific feedback. It's not that I needed someone to like necessarily hold my hand or whatever through the process, but I did need like actual feedback of like, hey, this is an area that we see a weakness in, and these things are the things that you need to change about these, you know, things that maybe you've completed, or we would like this to be different in this way. Like, I don't know. I was looking for more specific feedback, and they just gave me a bunch of like vague things to run with, which again made it feel like they had decided when I was first hired, which doesn't make any sense to me, because why go through the time of hiring someone if you already know that you don't want them to work there? It doesn't make any sense. We go through this plan. I'm like stressed out. I'm like crying all the time. I'm like frustrated with my family. My family doesn't even want to like be around me because I'm, you know, I'm like hard to be around because I'm stressed all the time, and it's just terrible. This is also, meanwhile, this is during the holiday season, like I said. Like, how incompassionate can you be? And like, I know it's a business. I get that. I understand that. And at the end of the day, like, there are business goals, but it's just crazy. So I go through, we get to the midpoint part of this plan, and the way they rate this is like I'm a child. They're like, okay, red light, you didn't meet any of the goals. Yellow light, you like met some of them, and green light, you met them all. Like, we're good to go. Like, everything's fine. And I was like, I go into that meeting and I'm like, are you so for real right now? Like, didn't treat me like a professional at all. It was insane. So I go into this meeting and we go through, and lo and behold, they said I was at a yellow light. Like, they said that I had been meeting stuff, that, you know, we had made it, you know, I had been completing goals. And I was like, okay, like, that's a good sign. And so I keep plugging along kind of like I had been doing, really still receiving very little, if any, feedback at all from my supervisor. I'm not really being asked to do things, which in my gut, I was like, this is not a good sign. But it's so crazy because this is also during like goal setting time at the beginning of the year. So I'm in this like in between place where I don't know if I'm staying at this job or not. And I have these goals that are coming up due. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I should complete these but they were like a task that I was assigned to do. So I'm like, well, if I don't do these, then that looks really bad. So I end up completing the goals. I asked this supervisor for feedback on them. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I completed these. Let me know if this is like what you're looking for. Let me know if we're like aligned on these. And I thought they were really great goals. They had like cross collaboration in them. They had a lot of the, you know, things that we had talked about in the plan in them that were being addressed. And I don't know, I took a lot of time and a lot of energy to write those goals and got no feedback on them when asked. And I turned them in. They happened to be due before the second meeting, like the day before. And the second part of our, what do you call it? The PIP. I hate that name for that plan. It's supposed to sound nice, but it's not. It just sounds condescending. Anyway, the goals were due the day before the second part of the meeting. And so I turned these in and spent all this time. Our second meeting also wasn't until 10 a.m. the next day. Oh, I lost something here. See, this is why I do kids only, because I lose things. There it is. Anyway, so that meeting to like wrap up this plan and to figure out like what next steps are or whatever was at 10 a.m. And so I'm like waking up in the morning, like doing my work, going about my day as usual, and like putting in time, you know, like completing things that were due to other people, completing content creation for the week, basically doing all the content for that week, to just find out that they made the decision that I wasn't actually completing the plan in the way that they wanted me to, and they like fired me on the spot. My supervisor was in the meeting for all of 10 seconds, and he was like, oh yeah, well now the HR person is just going to talk to you. And I was like flabbergasted. My jaw was on the floor. I could not believe like how insensitive he would be. He was being. He didn't even say like, thanks for the work that you put in. Like, thanks for your social media knowledge that you shared with us. Thanks for whatever. It was nothing. It was like, don't let the door hit you on the way out, basically. It was so cold and so rude. And I just absolutely could not believe it. Oh, I have a meeting this today. Okay, I'm actually going to change this. I'll get back to the story. Don't worry. But now I'm thinking about what I need in my planner. I am just kind of putting boxes down to create a spread, but I do actually need to think about some things here. Then I meet with the HR person. I'm like panicking because I hadn't been working there for very long, so I didn't think that I was like owed any severance or anything. Turns out I did get severance, so that was at least something. I ended up earning 4 weeks of severance. And I also had chosen to do like an HSA savings account. So I had, oh, and my insurance was going to continue until like the end of the severance payments, which was great. And then I had chosen the HSA insurance plan. So it was actually kind of an interesting plan that they offered. So it was an HSA plus you also got like regular benefits. So I thought that was pretty interesting actually. And I had actually not put any money into the HSA. The only money that was in there was money that was like matched from my employer. And so there was like $1,800 in there, which I was like, okay, well, if I have a medical thing come up, at least I have that for a while. The thing about this whole thing is though, is that now like I am so cautious as I'm applying. Like I feel like it's making my job application process so much harder. And like I debated on sharing this because, you know, if a future employer were to look at my channel as part of like a portfolio or something, I would never want them to think that I just sit here and bash employers. Like my previous employer, where I worked from 2022 to 2024, was phenomenal. They like took a chance on me as an educator leaving the classroom to really try and be like a social media manager. My boss there was like my favorite person. Like he was so fair and everything we talked about was like so clear and we just communicated really well. And I loved working there. I don't know, there are just some places that either you're not a fit or the supervisor is not a fit for you. I think that that's okay. You know, sometimes things happen, but just the way that this all went down, and feel free to let me know if you think I'm being like completely oversensitive because I can't tell. I have no idea. But I've never seen anything like that. I've never been treated in that way. Yeah, I'm still like so shocked. And like, I don't know, I feel like there's almost like, not almost, there is like some trauma remaining there, which sounds like super dramatic, but I don't know, like trying to move forward from that has been really hard for me. It's been really hard to like not take it personally. That is a big part of why I took a break from my channel too, is like I could not mentally handle like feedback online, basically. I don't know, I just couldn't take that on top of everything else that was going on. That is the story of how and why I am no longer employed where I called like my dream job, which is unfortunate because like on paper, it totally is my dream job. It's a place where would be interested in working. It was an industry that I had not ever worked in before. It was like adjacent to things that I had worked in before, but not something that I had ever done. So, I mean, I kind of think the fair thing would be to like provide some more training, but like, who am I to ask for things? I guess. Now I'm getting a little sassy. I shouldn't do that. I should just let it go. But it's hard. Like when you feel like you did everything that you possibly could do and there was I don't know about you guys, but I am a bit of a perfectionist. And when somebody gives me a goal to complete, like I like to make sure that goal gets done. And if I absolutely can, like if I possibly can get it done, I absolutely will. Like I am the goal girl, you know, like I am a millennial. I was in the talented and gifted thing, and you know, I don't know about you guys, but I will complete a goal. You know, like I am one of those kids that I loved school. I loved everything about it, and if I wanted to do something at school or at work, I have crushed the goal. I've worked really hard in that way to make sure that I accomplish what I'm setting out to do. To have somebody set such vague, like meaningless goals, basically, it doesn't make sense to me. Like I can't compute with that. Anyway, that is the story. I thought that would be a good little story for this plan with me time. Oh, I forgot to put in my payday, my unemployment that I'm still getting. Oh, and I also forgot to update you guys. I didn't get the job that I was hoping for, the one that I was really nervous about, and then I went to the 3rd round interview. This job market is tough. There are a lot of really great candidates out there in the job market right now, and I feel like that's part of it, but this is the 2nd job that I've gotten to like the 2nd or 3rd round, like depending on kind of what they have as a process, and then being told I was not selected. And that's tough when you kind of feel like you're like not quite good enough to. So I am on the struggle bus right now with this whole job application thing. Not to mention, like, now my kiddos are kind of struggling in some areas. You know, it's the end of the school year and there's just, like I said, some other stuff going on that I'm not going to discuss, but that's making it hard. So I'm having a little bit of a pity party this week. And this weekend, I am going to jump back in and do some job applications just because I feel like I need to. It's part of the required thing for unemployment. So I do actually need to. Yeah, I'm just hoping that sooner rather than later, something will come up and not just something. Like, I feel like that is kind of where I've gone wrong in the past, is I've like mass applied to things and I've not been as intentional with it as I should. I've applied to things that, you know, I just needed to get a job because I was so worried about not having money to afford life, basically, which is silly because my husband would totally pick up the slack. I've talked about this before, but we do our bills separately. But like I said, he is a wonderful partner and he would help out if needed anytime. That has just been my little job hunting process these days. Okay, so here is, we'll do a hard left and switch gears here. Here is my spread for right now. I think this looks really cute. I do have some things to add in pen right now, and then I'll leave the rest blank. So I'm gonna speed this part up and I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, I think that is it for now. I'm sure other things will come up, but that is my week for right now. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day, and I hope if you are a mama, happy Mother's Day. If you're celebrating a mama, happy Mother's Day to the moms in your life. And if you are a bereaved mom or a hopeful mom, somebody who's hoping to become a mom in the near future, here is a hug, an extra big hug. I know how difficult that process can be. I don't know firsthand, honestly, but I do have a lot of empathy for that process because, yeah, I hope everybody gets exactly what they want and need out of the day. Also, if you've lost your mom, same deal. I would like to offer you like a big hug, or if you have a difficult relationship with your mom, I would also like to offer you some empathy. I know that things like Mother's Day and Father's Day can have a lot of mixed emotions. So I hope you have a great week, no matter what it's looking like for you. And yeah, if you're new here, hi, my name is Caitlin. I do a plan with me every week on Sunday, so you can definitely count on these to come your way. And I would love it if you would subscribe and hang out with us. I'm also destashing a ton of Happy Planner stuff, so if you are interested in any of that, well, Happy Planner plus other stuff as well. So if you're interested in a major destash, feel free to follow along as well. Those videos will continue next week. So thank you so much for checking all of that out. And if you are one of my current friends, here is your internet hug for the day. And if you'd like to find me anywhere else, I do have links to all of my other socials in the description box below, but you can definitely find me over on Instagram at creatingin chaos_official. I am the most active over there, trying to dip my toe into TikTok. I'm not sure why I'm hesitating there, but I do want to start. I just don't know where to start. So I think I just need to post something and get started. So anyway, you can find me over in those two places mostly. And then I'm not working on any other projects right now, but hoping in the near future, potentially midsummer, to open Patreon back up. So if you're interested in joining Patreon for extra perks, that is something that you can do. And then, yeah, I think that's it. So with that, you guys, by the way, have fun today.